This is the front of the shirt. I've used a V-tool to line in the bottom edge all the way around. The back of the shirt is lower than the front, and I've drawn in the very bottom edge here using my model as a guide. So all this wood here that I've hatched and the wood at the top, this has got to be taken away. We'll back cut this fairly soon, and we'll take this away first. So the obvious way is to remove all this wood with deeper gouges. But if you've got a piece sticking up like that in your shirt that is susceptible to this, and if you feel up to it, take a saw and just cut a cross grain like this. As far as you can, or as far as you dare, and then with a flat gouge you can knock quite big bits off. This is a quick way of saving time, but you have to be sure where you're going to saw and make sure you've planned it. And then back to the gouges and so on. So bring this down, and then when you get to this surface, clean it all up to this edge here, but don't undercut yet. Sometimes on a big hollow like this, a straight gouge won't get round it because it's fouling on the edge here. And this is where you need a spoon bent gouge with a flat sweep, which will come down and up, and you'll find that really useful. Make sure that this face, this surface of the back of the shirt, is parallel to the front, and make sure you don't, when you come down here, don't cut into that face, because all this is going to be undercut. If I just draw a line here, see, all that will go in, so we don't want to be cutting into this face in this direction. So leave a bit of shavings and a bit of waste in that junction at the moment. I'm going to turn the shirt over now and back cut it, but before I do that, let me just show you exactly the parts that I'm going to be removing. So there's all of this section here on my shirt. This is actually a seam in the shirt itself, and it forms a sharp little angle. So I'm going to back cut all that here, and then as I come round here, it's going to become rounded, and then I'm going to undercut it in this bit of the where the cuff rolls over the edge of the shirt. I'm going to undercut round here, and all this bit that is below that line, all the way around here, again up here, and the back of this cuff here. This is rounded, and then we come to a sort of point here where this is another seam going on, so all that there, and we're going to follow this round, cut that and round this over up, so the bottom 2/3 of this shirt is back cut. The shirt is upside down, and I've got it resting on padding. This is a camping mat, and this is an underlay from a carpet, and that protects the surface from the hardness of the bench. I've got pads in the back, little pads to prevent this clamp making a mark, and up this end I've packed out the wood. It's not a good idea to be clamping with a big space underneath, because there is a pressure, not so much here because this is along the grain, but if you were to do it over here, you can snap the wood. So pack up like this, make sure everything's nice and firm. This rounded edge we can certainly do with the spoke shave again. That's quite a good way of doing that, backing that off. But let me use this little part here to demonstrate essentially what we're going to be doing. So this here is the edge of the sleeve, and looking at my model, I can see that the sleeve does a little sort of little take, a little back thing here. So the sleeve does a ruck. But the main thing I want to say is about the amount of undercutting you need to do. And that's a very good question, and the answer is as little as you need to do to make the effect. So for example here, I think we probably only need to come back this amount. When you come to the side of the shirt, sure, you're going to be able to see that, but really from most of the front and from an angle, this will be plenty to give the effect. And if not, we'll put the shirt up and we'll have a look and we'll adjust it. So once we've decided the amount that has to come away, then the usual way is to take a gouge and a mallet and to just literally start chopping it off. See the way the grain is going here? It's pushing this way, so I need to come in this direction downhill and this direction here, or safer, start off coming across the grain like this. It's quite normal for the sweep of the gouge to give a concave, hollow back cut. Don't worry about that. Make sure it's clean because it's a finished surface. I've left this edge here about 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters, and looking at my model I decided there wasn't any advantage in making this flip. I'll just come right back here like this and merge this in with the round edge here and brought the round edge back over here a little bit. So I'm going to continue like this, all on the bottom edge of the shirt and the sleeve on the other side, all the way around, cleaning that up. I've now finished back cutting from the sleeve at one end all the way along at 45 degrees to the other. This is a finished surface, so make sure it's nice and clean.